Hello again, my lovelies. Welcome to Mama G Gear, and it's Mama G here. And I've been getting a head start on my little ghosts. This is needle felting, and I thought a lot of you have asked to see how this process is. So the easiest thing you could possibly make is a ghost. So let's make one together, and I could show you. Here's a couple of the gnomes. I haven't been working on them. I don't know if I dropped that video because I'm asking for suggestions on, like, I don't know how to decorate that stuff. And I did make this ghost, but I gave him arms, so he kind of looks like an angel ghost with the red eyes. I don't know. It just whatever. And then this is just fiber that I, dye with the acid dye, and then pull what I need. And this is just the basic, very soft. This is not the card wool. I did not think to bring that in here. This is the blue-faced BFL fibers, and it's very soft. And since I'm doing something tiny like this, I'll just use this. But if I'm making something big like this, I will first do the main shape out of card wool. Is it card wool? I don't know. I might be using the wrong term. It's been a lot of years. I don't know all the terminology. I can't remember the shapes of the needles and whatnot. But as I get into it, hopefully it will come back to me. But then you go over it with the better, the better quality dyed yarns instead of using a whole bunch of the good yarn. I mean, the good wool. Duh. Okay, and I also started a little snowman last night. I don't know. It's literally 3 little balls that I'm stabbing them together, and I'll make a little hat and figure out his little arms, put some buttons and whatnot, maybe make a little scarf out of a threaded piece of yarn or something. Just something I thought maybe I'll do those too. But the ghosts are really super easy. As you can see, there's all different sizes and shapes. Like this one I'm not really super happy with, so I will probably continue to pokey that guy until I get him to where I want him. But then I will put little eyes on them, and these guys are all going to get named. And that's one of the things I had suggested. We had suggested or asked for suggestions, I should say. We had asked for suggestions for some like kind of old school, kind of maybe ghosty, creepy names to go with it. And then we're going to write stories, a little bit about themselves, but how they passed away. I know it sounds grim, but if you make things like that more common, it's less tragic, maybe. I don't know. It's more, I don't know, whatever. Never mind. All right, so how do we make these little guys? Let's move these little boos out. So we got a bunch of boos. Take those boos. So basically, I've got some fibers. I'm going to just grab a chunk. All right, so there's a chunk. It's a little long here, so I might pull and then set that there. So you kind of like, I'm going to want a little more of the fiber here because that's going to be where the head is. But that should be good. And if you need to, you just can grab another little piece, kind of put it there. All right, so I dropped my rubber thumb, my leather thumb, I should say. So then you're going to fold it in half. And I kind of like to just give it a little, sometimes just a little bit of pushing and the oils on your hand will give it shape. Hold on. Oh man, it's across the room. I get too old for this stuff. All right, so I do recommend, I'm just kind of pinching it at the neck and straight down. I probably should have you closer, but straight down. And this is, I'm not going to be able to tell you. At some point I will explain to you the different types of needles, what the needles are for, the different sizes, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of technical jambalaya with this stuff, but I just kind of do the one that works. For what I'm doing here, I don't need to get too fancy with it. But I'm just kind of holding it, and I'm not wearing my finger protectors because I'm literally just going straight down, and I'm not near my fingers. Just kind of rolling it around a little bit. And you could kind of scrunch it. When you're scrunching it, when you're needle felting, try not to make folds because sometimes those are hard to get out. You know, like it stays in it. But anyway, these are the finger protectors. Highly recommend these. And this is for really getting into... See, now I'm stabbing, like you could go through this. I have done that numerous times. If you're really, I'm going to say poking instead of the other word. When you're really like going fast, poking, and giving it a good shove, I have gone through these and stabbed myself. But I will say this: I do not have a high tolerance to pain, but you get used to it. In the beginning, when you first start this, I can pretty much guarantee you're going to stab yourself. There's no way around it. Poke yourself, I'm sorry. But as you go and as you learn and get more comfortable, and I'm only doing this with one needle. I could do this and expedite this system. Take 2 of them. But as you get used to it, you'll start knowing which way to poke, and then you won't even hardly feel it. So now I've got 2. I don't know if you could see. I don't know if that helped any, or put it against my hand maybe. There's 2 there. And I'm just kind of holding it with my fingernail in between, so they're separate. And now so now I'm kind of holding it where they're separate. They're not like right next to one another. And this just doubles the speed, because I'm stabbing 2 times every time instead of 1. And there's other things you can buy that have a whole bunch of them in there into one piece, and that also expedites the pokey part. So if you have something big, like this is little, these are pretty quick. But so now what I'm doing, I'm glad I have my finger covers on, because I am poking at them, but I'm poking softly enough where it's just tapping it, it's not going through. And kind of going around and around. And what you're doing, these needles have like little spokey things in there, which when you press down, it pushes the fiber in. And then when you pull it out, it doesn't pull it out. It just shoves it in there. I don't know if that makes any sense. And again, I can go into that at another one. This one, I just wanted to show you the ghosts. So this process that I'm doing right now can take as long or as short of a period of time as you want to go to mold this. But you can see how it's starting to transform. All right. And I wish I knew how to do the speed up the video for you, but anyway, this is, I won't go into the whole thing. I'm just giving you like a quick cliff note on how to do this. And I'm kind of pinching it and then stabbing, because that will also expedite it and make it tighter. And I don't want to make it too hard. I mean, you can get different levels of thickness or density. I guess I should say density. And now I'm poking up, so I'm kind of pulling some of the bottom part up into the head. This will give it somewhat of a neckline and also put more fibers in the head, so it'll also probably felt more quickly. And I'm just stabbing it in there, poking it. I gotta learn my new terminology now that I'm on here. And then I'm working my way up. So you want to mold it as you go. And you don't want to concentrate on one spot for any too long of a period, because then you have to even it out all around. And see how it's kind of not perfect? Don't worry about that, because you could reshape it afterwards. So don't have to make it perfect as you're going around, because you could fix a lot of this stuff. And I'm just giving him some good punches here. All right, so see how warped that looks? That's okay, because you can roll it a little bit in your hand and reshape it. And I feel like that needs to be poked down. And now I'm going to grab here and I'm going to move this finger because I'm going to stab straight down. And if I have my finger here, I might stab into my finger. So I kind of put my finger over and I'm just working my way around the circle, poking, poking, poking. And little by little, it is getting denser and denser and molding. I mean, you could even use 3 of these or whatever, you know, while you're doing this. You could tape them together. It's a lot of different techniques. I don't mind this process. I find it very therapeutic. So as long as I'm not in a hurry to get them done, which I'm not, I've got a whole year, I don't mind it taking a little bit of time. I mean, I like to go quicker for your sake, but I don't know if you can hear the crunching. Where's the microphone on here? Can you hear the crunch? Crunch, crunch, crunch. It's really cool. And you could do this with all different types of yarn, of wools. But basically this is it. I mean, there's plenty more poking that I have to do. And I'm going to put that one back. There's plenty more poking I have to do. And then it's a matter of shaping it. I just hit my finger there. I didn't stab myself, but it just like pricked it. But then if you see like a little piece that's sticking out, you want to kind of poke that in. Yeah, this is pretty much it. This is needle felting. I mean, at its most simplistic form. I mean, some people can make the most incredible. Oh my God, there's some needle felt artists that do portraits of dogs and make animals that look legitimately real. And, you know, I doubt I'll ever get to that level in my life at this point, but I do totally admire their ability and skill. And I appreciate it because I know how hard this, not hard, but, you know, it takes skill and talent and time. Not just time doing it, but also time to learn the processes. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to just go from there. And so pretty much there's a little ghost, all right? He's got a little ball head there, his little body. And then I'll do this quickly. You might not be able to see it, but I've just got a very little bit of fiber of black. I'm going to pull that in half-ish. It's a little more than half, so drop it and lose it. So here's 2 little tiny, yeah, we'll just do those. 2 little tiny balls. I'm going to gently roll them, hopefully. All right, they're very loose, and I'm going to pick it up with my needle. I probably should have you in zoom. Let me see, can I don't know how to zoom this thing, but anyway, I'm going to stick it in. And then this part here, you want to be a little slower because you want to mold it. You want to make sure that it gets into the fiber. Otherwise, it'll just come out. So you have to work it into the fiber, but you also don't want to dig it in there so much that you lose it. Like that could be lost right in there. But I think that one turned out really well. That went fast. Okay. The second one won't do that. All right, so let's put another one right here. Well, I'm really happy to say that these went very quickly. That's the quickest I've ever put eyes on. And I'm kind of spreading it out a little bit, and then I can poke from the back. But you want to make sure that it's got enough fibers that have gone into it. That was really quick. That's the quickest eye job I've ever done. So they don't fall out. So they've got to be in there where they're adhered. you know. But yeah, there it is. There's another little boo. It's a boo. And I might put the eyes on the other guys right after I get a little bite to eat, and then work on my little snowman. Yeah, and these guys are still waiting for decorations. I don't know. So that's that. And yeah, that was the most unconventional, crappy tutorial. Hey, love you guys. Don't forget your thummies, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye for now.